And we're live. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to For My ATL Sports One. I'm your host, Terry Wilson, and we have a special guest with us, the Archangel, Mr. Jabri Harper. Jabri, welcome to the show. Hey, tell the fans a little bit about you. Tell us number one, how did you become a Falcons fan? Why did you become a Falcons fan? And tell us what you do these days in regards to Falcondom and all that jazz.
Oh
Jabri,
yeah. I became a Falcons fan back in 1991,
okay.
and who made me a big Falcons fan was probably Dion. Had to be Dion Sanders. It's prime time. I mean, come on. Um,
Hey, the
you
best
know what I'm
to
saying?
do it. The best to
Yeah,
ever do it.
exactly. I mean, them in that black, them throwback jerseys. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, too legit to quit. I mean, come on. And that was when I started first watching the Braves and getting into sports in 1991 when I
Mm-hmm.
started watching sports.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what I've been doing these days, I mean, just working hard, and just I'm still a Falcons fan to this day because I just love my team. I believe red and black. I mean, everything. I mean, from the socks, from the shoes to the socks. I mean, you look at this, hey, I
I
mean,
see it.
hey,
I see it. And I'm digging it. I'm
yes,
digging the
sir.
socks, by the way. I'm totally digging it. So I think that's just great, man. Hey, let me tell you. So you were one of the fans that went down to the bins for draft night. If
Yes,
you
sir.
could kind of take us through what that felt like, man, from start to finish, walking in there, seeing all those people, cast of characters, on up to, of course, the pick where we took Penix. Take us through what that was like for you.
Oh man, it was exciting, man. I mean, it's an exciting time. The draft, that's like Christmas, man. It's like Christmas time to a diehard Falcons fan. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, I enjoyed it, man. I seen a lot of, uh, celebrities. Like Bijan. You know what I'm saying? Big Country Low.
Big
Uh,
country.
your little big brother, aka E Parker,
Mr. Eric Parker. Yeah.
Demario. I see a lot of,
Demario.
Falcon
Yeah.
fandom out there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had a good time, man. And when they announced the pick, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was shocked as much as many other people was. I
Y'all
was
were.
more shocked than anything. I was a little bit upset, but I was more shocked because I was
Yeah.
expecting us to get some defense. But
Yeah.
after settling down,
Hmm.
I love the pick, man.
I do too.
I love the pick.
I do too. I think number one, it's about timing.
Yeah.
And I just think, look, after the lean years after Matt Ryan, Arthur Blank was like, I don't want to be in this position again. I mean, let's be real. He's 81, 80 something. He's not getting any younger. He wants to see a championship as quickly as possible. And this
Hmm.
is a quarterback driven league, right? So I get it. I understand. I see the logic behind it. Switching gears a little bit, Jabri, if we could, the
Yes, sir.
decision to dock the Falcons a fifth round pick and 250K came down last night. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I'm happy, man. I think we got away with murder. Let the truth be known.
if it,
I think we escaped one now, man. Whew. You know what I'm saying?
if
Because
it
I ain't
does
gonna lie
not
to you.
fit,
I'm not saying we was gonna get a first round taken from us, but
right.
I was thinking at least maybe a second or a third, which
Mm,
would have hurt me. I ain't gonna lie. But a fifth, oh man, we good with that, bro. That's light work, man. Light
I'm
work.
in total agreement with you.
Yes, sir.
Because Jack and I went back and forth about this, right? And I was all gloom and doom, like, yeah, it's going to be at least a second round pick, and maybe more, and multiple round picks. And Jack was like,
Mhm.
it's going to be a fifth round pick, and I don't know, but apparently he was right. Maybe he's been hanging out with Bert Odamas. That's Berto from 95 North. You know the story.
Yeah. Oh, pecan, but a pecan.
Something, something. Well, I'm not gonna call him that. You can do that, but yeah, but no. In all seriousness, I really thought we could lose a first round pick. So
Yeah,
I was relieved to hear that, and I think it's good because it means we'll have more picks next year, and we're not hindered. Uh,
exactly.
I was afraid. I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
really,
I thought we was gonna lose at least a set. I didn't think we was gonna lose a first rounder, but I was thinking at least a second round or a third round. The way
yeah,
they was making it sound, man,
yeah,
I was like, oh, I was kind
yeah,
of scared. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah. Let me tell you something. What scared me was that the NFL was embarrassed.
Hmm.
Guess when they took a look into it, the infraction occurred during the window. Because I
Hmm.
think that's what a lot of people don't know. Initially, it was reported that it took place before the window, which if it had, I think that it would have been a lot worse, right?
Yeah,
But from
yeah,
what they could prove, it took place during the window. And
yeah.
because of that, I think they said, okay, we're going to dock him a fifth round pick. And, maybe after everything was done, they let us sit for a couple of weeks just to kind of build the drama and make them sweat. But
Make us anxious.
hey, and it worked, man. But
Yeah, it gave me more anxiety than I
yeah,
needed to have.
I mean, can you imagine if we had lost a first and second round pick behind that? Like people would be livid. But I'm
Oh yeah, I
glad
would have been
it worked
upset
out.
because from what I'm hearing is like next year's draft is supposed to have even better uh, defensive line and better edges from what I'm hearing
Really,
next year. Yeah, that's what I heard.
really.
This class is supposed to be a good class in defense. So I'm looking forward to. I mean, that's way ahead, but I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to us drafting actually some defense in the first round, like a defensive lineman in the first round. That would be nice. That would be that would be great.
It would be great. Hopefully next year we're drafting at pick number 32. But
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
that that
hey,
you know,
I'm good with that.
hey,
I'm good with
that'd be
that.
a great,
That
great,
would be a blessing. I take it
great.
all day, every day.
That would be a great problem to have. So
Yes, sir.
let me ask you this. We've heard a lot about how we basically drafted Penix and then defensive guys. Um, but I don't know that a lot of attention has been given to this offense. And in looking at who we have in Zach Robinson, and a lot of what he does mirrors a lot of what Kyle Shanahan, and I can never think of the coach of the Rams, but what they do.
Sean McVay.
Thank you for
Hmm.
that. Thank you. Uh,
Yeah,
you might be called upon to do that again this show because I forget things. So I appreciate you. I really do. But
yeah.
they do a lot with alignment, right?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, alignment. So Richard Sherman, when interviewed when they were playing the Falcons, said that Kyle Shanahan is the best at looking at the alignment of the defense and
Hmm.
seeing what you're going to do and attacking the integrity of that, right? So an example of that may be I come out with three tights and a receiver, and I see what alignment you're in. I run three guys to the left and one guy to the right, and the defense over pursues, and that guy to the right is wide open, which we've seen that happen when Kyle
Hmm.
was here numerous times. And I think Sean McVay is the same way. And I bring it up to say that you could see Bijan used in a lot of shifts. You could see just our offensive personnel go out and attack weak points of defenses. And I just wanted to get your opinion as to, if you had to say between 25 and 32 points, how many points a game do you think the Falcons are going to score? And why do you feel that way?
Well, I feel that we're gonna average amount I say about 28 to 31 points,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Definitely, I say about 31 points. Because
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Cousins. I mean, man, if he played like he did last year, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sky's the limit, man. Why can't we score at least 31 to 28 points? I say at least 31 points. At least we
Mm-hmm.
should be scoring. There's no excuses. All the weapons we got, Bijan, Drake London,
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Pitts,
Mm-hmm.
who hasn't had a real quarterback
Mm-hmm.
other than Matt Ryan. But you got to think about it. Matt Ryan was on the tails end of his career with us. He
Yep.
wasn't even the best Matt Ryan,
Version of Matt Ryan.
that we exactly. He wasn't even the best version of Matt Ryan that we're used to seeing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you think about it. You get him with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. I mean, come on. If he playing like that MVP, something similar, he's something even similar to that MVP year that he probably could have possibly had that last year. I mean, come on, man. Like, why can't we score at least 31 points? Think about that.
Okay.
And we got Mooney. We
Yeah.
got, come on. I mean, come on, man. Ray. Come on, man.
Let's spend
Why
a little
not?
time on Mooney for a sec, because a lot of people are kind of overlooking him, and I can understand.
Mhm.
You got Kyle, you got Drake, you got Bijan, but Mooney is incredibly fast, and Mooney runs really good routes. I mean,
Yes.
I think he was either first or second in separation last year. Even though he didn't have a great season, he was always open, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I'm looking for a really good campaign from him. I'm thinking if Drake's your number one and Mooney's your number two, maybe 80 catches, maybe 850 to 925 yards. What's your expectation for Mooney's numbers this year?
Uh, with Mooney, I'm thinking like, well, since, I don't know, maybe people like Cal Pitts might be double.
Mm-hmm.
Drake London might get his doubles from
Mm-hmm.
time to time. That might free up Mooney. So, Mooney might get him, I say, about 6 to 8 touchdowns maybe this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, maybe like 800 something yards, something like that, somewhere up in there. 800, 700 yards, somewhere up in there. And I think he's gonna have a good season this year, man. Like I really do believe that, man. Like sky's the limit for him also, man, because everybody looking at Cal Pitts, Drake London, Bijan, and don't forget Tyler J either.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we got so many weapons. People are overlooking some of the new additions that we got. So
Yes.
hey, man, sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, I think Mooney's gonna have a great year. I think
Yeah.
Mooney may benefit and he may score 10 touchdowns because when you get
Wow.
down,
Woo.
well, I say that
Woo.
because when you get down into the end zone, you're gonna double Kyle. That's
Yeah.
and you're probably gonna shade Drake.
Yeah.
That leaves Bijan, that leaves Mooney. In some alignments, that may be Moore. What's
Yeah.
Moore's first name? Rondell Moore.
Yeah.
Um, I think it may be Tyler, but I think they'll benefit. I think that Bijan, excuse me, I'm sorry. I think Kyle and Drake will get their touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because I think, unlike last year, I think we will have the ability to scheme. And let me take a step back. I'm not taking a shot at Arthur Smith. I'm not.
Yes.
Um, I think it's a big difference coaching in the NFL nowadays than it
Yeah.
was 10 or 20 years ago. There's so much more going on. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of guys, especially in their first go round, struggle with certain things like clock management. You could see
Mhm.
that with Dan Quinn. You could see that with Arthur Smith. And it's because when you're a coordinator, you got one job. That's the defense. You got
Mhm.
all the plays, you got to design the plays. When you're a head coach, you got the offense, the defense, the special teams. You got to keep up with the clock. There's so much. And some guys don't delegate well that first go round, right?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, you don't know what you don't know. So I
Yeah.
think in that regard, I think maybe it hurt the Falcons last year. I don't think we'll struggle with this year because the thing about Raheem, he knows how to build a team. He knows how to delegate. He's done this before. He's
Exactly.
been in the league. He's been at various stops. So I say that to say I think Zach Robinson will scheme to get Kyle open.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think Zach Robinson will scheme to get Drake open. We had the same thing with Julio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Julio was essentially our big target, but between 20 to 20, he was great. But you get him inside the 20, and guys are going to double and triple team him,
Mm-hmm.
and that was an issue, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that we've had this assortment of players, and
Man.
this team to me now they haven't done it. So I'd be remiss if I just gave it to him right now. You got to go out and prove it. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, since 2016, this is one of the best Falcons team that I've seen. The 2012 Falcons were good too. They didn't
Oh
make
yeah.
it to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
the 2012, yeah, the
Yeah,
2012,
they
the
were good.
2016 and 2017 was some squads,
Yeah,
man. I
they
mean,
were.
the offense was loaded. Like you said, it's been a minute since we had a plethora
Mm-hmm.
of talent on the offense like this, man. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, wow, that's a
Yeah,
lot, bro.
I honestly think that 2017 team was better because the defense was better. It's just
Yeah,
we
man.
had
Yeah.
a new offensive coordinator, and nothing against him, but he was new and wasn't really familiar with all the bells and whistles and how to run
And
things.
just think about it. I know this gonna hurt lots of Falcons fans, but
Mm-hmm.
just think about it. We was one catch away from going to the Super Bowl again that year. I mean, wow, man.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly because I think we probably would. I think we would have beat. I think we would have beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
Look how Philly manhandled
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota. I
Minnesota.
think we would. I think we would have beat Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
and went to the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but with that being, even that 2016 team, and I say this because of this 2016 team had Grady and they had some weapons. Our cornerbacks were not great
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
2016. And
Yeah.
the Patriots figured that out, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about total talent, in my humble opinion, I cannot think of a more talented team than this one that we have this year.
Yeah. This
Because
squad is
yeah,
loaded. It's
that
loaded.
that 2016 team had a very good offense. What was the guy that we signed? Dwayne, what was his name? The rusher. He was a veteran. For 2016. What was his name?
You talking about was it Kearney
No,
on
no, 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 no.
2016?
Yeah.
Patrick Kearney, or are you
Nuh-uh.
talking about somebody else?
Black dude played for the Colts. Played
Yeah,
for
that was Kearney. It was
that wasn't
Kearney.
not on 2016. No. His name, what was his name?
It wasn't Kearney. Oh
2016.
no, it wasn't Kearney. It was dang. Who was it? I know you talking about. I got it mixed up. It wasn't Kearney. It was shoot. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. Dang. I'm
Uh,
talking about Patrick Kearney. It wasn't Patrick Kearney. It was
Patrick Cooney was a great one.
yeah,
Patrick
he
was a
was
great
good. It wasn't Patrick Kearney, but I know you're talking about. He was from the Colts. Damn
Yeah.
man, I can't remember his name off the top of
Um,
my head.
what was his name? What was his name? What was his name? Golly. I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. I have to go back and look at that. But he was
But he helped the defense out a lot.
right. He helped the
Yeah,
he helped the edge rush out.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He helped out
A lot of the youth,
big,
like
big, big
Grady
defense.
Jarrett and everybody. I
Brady,
mean, they
right.
fed off of him.
He did. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But on defense, our secondary wasn't great.
yeah.
This year's team, our front seven, I'll take us against anybody. Jesse Bates, AJ, I'll take them up against anybody.
Oh yeah.
So this is
No
the
doubt.
first Falcons team where I can see we have legitimate stars on both offense and defense. And
I just got his name. I just popped up in his name. His name just popped in my head. Freeney. I think it was
yes,
Freeney.
Dwight Freeney. Yes.
Yeah,
Dwight
Freeney. That was his
right.
name.
So we had him and some rookies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think you had Babineau and some other guys, but for the most part, that defense, the secondary was not great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that our offense that year led our team. I mean, we just dismantled folks. We
Yeah.
came in and beat up folks. But this year's team has the ability to win it on defense and win it on offense. We can do it
Yeah.
either way, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that most Falcons fans understand the caliber of talent that we look. We had talent last year. We just didn't really have anybody to
Quarter.
drive
We
the
ain't
ball.
have competent quarterback play. So
Right. Well, correct.
yeah.
Like if you got a Ferrari, but you can't drive a stick, it's going to sit in your yard, right? But you get
Exactly.
somebody who can drive it, you can see a difference,
Yeah.
right? You get somebody that can drive that Ferrari, you're going to all of a sudden see that thing shift. You're going to see
Mhm.
that thing corner. You're going to see that thing get out on the highway and get somewhere. And I think the 2024 Falcons are the same. We have at least 7 or 8 weapons on offense that might start on other teams,
Hmm.
right? Rondell Moore is probably a number 2 on another team.
Yeah, I
You
think
get what I'm
I, I
saying?
think I think that's another secret weapon we might use, like
Yeah,
a Gabrielle. How we
yeah,
use they use Gabrielle.
yeah,
So
yes,
yeah, people. I think
yeah,
people sleeping on him. I think people sleeping on him.
definitely. And imagine if you have a situation or formation. Because Steve Weiss brought this up on the 95 North show. But imagine if you've got a situation where you have Darnell Mooney and Bijan Robinson on the field at the same time. Good luck with that.
Oh yeah,
Up with that. You added Drake, whatever formation you want to add, you put them two in the same backfield. You
yeah,
got Darnell Mooney, Kyle, Drake. Good luck with that. Like, who you want to cover? You motion
exactly.
around, you go ahead and put Rondell in motion or whatever. Who are you? You can't double everybody. And I
Yeah,
and again, all things being equal, if we stay healthy, I don't see I don't see this offense being anything less than top 10. I don't see them scoring anything less than 30 points. And I really think we have an opportunity to win. People are saying, well, they can win one game in the playoffs. I'm not saying we will win the Super Bowl, but we have the team to get there. Now,
yeah,
you got Detroit and you got San Francisco and you have those Eagles, but in the right set of circumstances, it could happen. So I feel very strongly um, about this team because I think looking at it, it's probably the best team that we've ever had. And I know I'm saying a lot, right? I get it. I understand. There was the 98 team. That
yeah.
98 team was a good team, but they were run heavy. It was Jamal Anderson, it was Chris Chandler. They passed it a little bit. They ran the ball and the defense was pretty good. That
Hmm.
team could not play with this team.
Yeah. Now,
Take
if
well,
we
I
now
I shouldn't say they can't play with them, but I think
yeah.
this team is better. But go ahead, you're about to say something.
Now I was gonna say, now if we being real, now don't get it twisted. I'm a diehard fan through and through. I bleed red and black, but I'm also a realist, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So to me, like I think this team is good enough to go to definitely to make to the playoffs and win. And I like you said, I think we can win. I think we can win at least one game, but can we go deeper? Can we go to the Super Bowl? Yeah, why not? Why can't we go there? But
Yeah,
honestly, what I think is going to happen, I think we're going to go to the playoffs, win one game, and you know what I'm saying. That's what I think. But if we go further, oh, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm
yeah,
gonna keep it 100. It wouldn't
agreed.
surprise me, but I'm expecting. I'll be just me. Honestly, I'll be happy because it's been. I mean, it's been what
7
6,
years.
7 years since we've
Yeah,
been.
7
I'm
years.
happy just to make it. I mean, of course, I want to make it further. I'm a
Mhm.
diehard fan. Of course, I want to make it to the Super Bowl. But
Mhm.
at this point, I'm just happy to make it to the playoffs, man. I mean, it's been what 6 years? Come on
Mhm.
now. And if we
6
win one, I
years.
mean, how could you not be excited about just even getting in the playoffs and winning one? Come on. But if we make it further, I mean, come on. Of course, I'm gonna be excited. Of course, I want the best for my team. Of course, I want to go to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And New Orleans too, man. If we can win the Super Bowl, New Orleans, man, there ain't nothing you can tell me. Ain't nothing you can
You
say to
know,
me.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. To win the Super Bowl in the home stadium of your arch enemy, I just can't think of anything better. You know what I mean?
Man,
Because my brother and I can think of about 300 Saints fans who had a very bad night that night. Very bad. If you know Eric Parker and you know my brother, you know, oh my God. Oh my, I mean, bro, come on. You know what I
oh
mean? But
man,
for
we
them,
par- we having the look. We having parade in New Orleans. What you talking
oh
about?
my
We
goodness.
celebrating up there. What you talking
Hey,
about?
bro, those folks will be up.
Wow.
No, wow. I need to get a soundboard. You're right. Wow. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Jack Spade from One Time for the
No.
No,
That's
but
funny
but
as hell.
hey, bro, in all seriousness, like man, if we win that Super Bowl, if I live through that week, Jabri, it's gonna be because let me tell you something. The party that's gonna go down in my house that night is gonna be epic.
Oh
There will
yeah.
be no liquor left. There will be no alcohol left. Like I'll probably wake up. I've already told my boss if we
Um,
win the Super Bowl, don't look
I'm
at me.
taking off. I'm definitely taking a few days,
Nah,
man.
don't look for me
That's
that
that's
week.
gonna be a holiday. That's gonna be a
Hey,
holiday week.
that whole week is gonna be a holiday, and I might come back the next one. I might. If I live through that first week, right?
Exactly.
Because my wife is gonna be like, "You just stay downstairs because I can't be around you, right?" Because I'm gonna be ecstatic. Like 50
For
years
real.
of just, oh my God, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be ecstatic, bro. I'm gonna be ecstatic. Ain't nothing no Aints fan can tell me because that's all we hear from. I work
Right,
with a lot of Aints fans too. Let me
right,
just tell you.
right,
So I ain't gonna be nothing they can tell me. They always bring up, we got a Super Bowl. What y'all
right,
got?
right,
28-3. That's all
right.
that's all they can
Exactly.
say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they
I
ain't gonna
mean,
be able to tell me nothing.
well, they wouldn't, and it would happen in their house. Like that's the
Exactly.
ultimate insult. Like honestly, if it's like 5 minutes left and the Falcons are up by 3 touchdowns, I believe those lights will go out. I believe it'll be too much for them. That's all of a sudden.
honestly, honestly, we have. I mean, seriously, when you look at it,
Yeah.
man. Even though I'm saying, realist. I mean, come on, man. We got a quarterback that done been to the playoffs a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years. So why can't we? I mean, when you think about it, when you deeply thinking about it, why can't we make it to the Super Bowl? We got a quarterback that done been to the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's been in the league for years, man. Why can't we go to the Super Bowl?
And
Really? I mean, we got all the weapons we got. I
mm-hmm.
mean, sky's the limit, man.
I,
Sky's the limit this year, really.
I don't think he's
Honestly.
ever had more weapons than he has this year. Like that's
Exactly.
like he's got at least 4 or 5 guys that he can get the ball to that can
Exactly.
with it. And I mean, I'm not saying he hasn't had talent in his previous stops, but I don't know that he
He
has had.
ain't had talent like this.
Thank you,
He
thank
ain't
you.
he ain't had no Cal Pitts, Drake London,
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Algier,
Mm-hmm.
Bijan all at the same time, and a Mooney. Come
Right.
on now.
And Rondell Moore and Ray McCloud
And Rondell Moore.
and Casey Washington. Nobody's talking
And
about
a
Casey
Ray Ray.
Washington.
Come on. Ray
And,
Ray
right.
Pookie and Ray them
Yeah,
across the street.
exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. In the backyard, run by the Buick. No, but
Yeah.
I mean, Casey Washington, I'm hearing from him. Well, not from him, but I'm hearing from folks that have seen him in the OTAs. This guy's phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
exactly.
Like he
So
is really. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
KC, man. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really seen, but I heard a lot of good things
Yeah,
about KC Washington.
yeah.
So I'm expecting good things from him.
He could make the squad. He could definitely make the squad, and I
Yeah.
mean, he could do some damage. But the whole point is, man, we are at least 5, 6 deep on receiver. We're 2 deep,
Hmm.
maybe 3 deep on running back. We got a superstar stud mutant for tight end, and we got a quarterback that knows how to distribute the ball, read defenses, get it there. He's a study machine when
Yeah.
it comes to defenses. And we got like a little offensive genius that just got released. It's like a new pit bull that you just turn loose on the world, but he's big and strong and ready. He just doesn't have any experience.
Hmm.
Look, you had all of that up, man. I think it's going to be great. But anyway, next topic. Calais Campbell signs with Miami. I was sad to see that. What are your thoughts on that, Jabri?
Man, I honestly didn't hear that new. I honestly didn't hear that news until um I honestly didn't hear that news until today
Mm-hmm.
about the Dolphins signing Calais. Wow, I honestly didn't hear that, and I
Yeah.
just yeah, I mean that's kind of sad because I like Calais, man. Come
Well,
on, you like the big happy Goliath giant. You know what I'm saying? The
yeah.
people, the people's champ, just like a CP, Cordell Patterson. He was like the people's champ. Everybody loved one. All the little babies want to take pictures with him and everything. So yeah, man, I hate that, but I'm at the same time I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just hate to see him go, man. Because I would have liked to see at least maybe one more year
Mm-hmm.
with the Falcons, him teaching our rookies. You know what I'm saying? I was looking forward to that. Him
Yeah.
teaching our rookies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Embedding in them what it takes to be a all-time pro in this league. You know what I'm saying? He's got that.
Yeah.
So I hate to see him go, man. But congrats to him. I hope the best for him. And hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I was sad to see him go. To your point, and I echo your sentiments. I think he would have been a great example and teacher to Brandon Dorless, to Braden Trice, to
Mm,
Rook. I'm not going to butcher his last name. I'm just going to call him Rook. But I think those three guys specifically really would have helped out with that, and really would have been, he wouldn't have had to play as many snaps this year.
hmm.
He probably could have been on the field for 15, 20 minutes with, dude, number one, okay, our defensive line, in my humble opinion, is the best position group on this team. And it's not even close. You got Grady, you got David, you got Eddie coming back if he stays. You got Kentavious coming off the bench. You got LaCale London. You got Big Boy from Georgia. You
Hmm.
got, the rookies that we drafted. You got Ebiketie. You got Carter. You got an assortment of guys that you put this defense together, man, and we can get there, bro. Like
Okay.
I think, again, I think this Falcons front seven is hands down the best we've ever had. And I know I'm saying a lot, but I think this year's front seven, we got 6 defensive linemen that probably would start on other teams. We
Okay.
got 3 stud linebackers and a rookie that's supposed to be really good. We
So
got 2.
what are you thinking the rankings of this defense this year is gonna be? Top 10, top 15,
I'm
top
gonna say
20?
I'm gonna split the difference and say top 12.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that.
Say top
That's a
12.
realistic answer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
And
I
it
would
could be
say,
higher.
yeah. I
It
would
could
say,
be
yeah, around, 11, 12, somewhere up in there.
higher.
Yeah.
If Eddie is the Eddie of old, Eddie Goldman, if he's the Eddie of old, you're not running. I mean, you're not running the ball.
Hmm.
You're not running the ball.
I think being real with it, I
Mm-hmm.
think if Eddie actually plays and don't retire again,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna take being realistic, thinking about it all, considering everything. I think it's gonna take a little while for him to
It could.
kind of get back to himself because you got to think about it. He hadn't played in a long time, so
Correct.
I'm thinking it's gonna take him maybe I don't know, maybe about
Three,
3 to 4
4, 5
games or so.
games. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for him to get warmed back up and get back to that form, that true form. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, it definitely could, but I just think, again, Kentavious Street is another one that's really good. LaCale London is he played decent last year.
Hmm.
We drafted the kid from Georgia who's a biggin. That is a
Yeah.
big man. That is
What's
that is a
what's the
big.
corner from what's the corner that we got from the Cardinals? Because I heard good things. He could possibly fight for the. I mean, I like Clark. Don't get it twisted. I
Mm-hmm.
like Clark Phillips, but I think you feel the same way I feel. I mean, I'm not saying he can't be a number two,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of actually think he could possibly be like a Brent Grimes 2.0. But
He
at the
could.
same time, I mean, if we could have a taller
Corner.
cornerback
Yeah.
and have him playing in the slot, like a
Mm-hmm.
slot corner, like everybody's saying he should be, I
Mm-hmm.
think that'd be a lot better situation. That's just me, but I mean,
No, I
hey, I
agree.
could be wrong. I
No,
could be wrong.
I agree. I think so. Steve Weish was on 95 North's podcast last week, and something that he pointed out was that Raheem doesn't necessarily need two devastating corners. He needs one really good one because the other one typically plays off ball and in a zone. And I feel
Hmm.
and let me tell you something. Clark Phillips is technically sound.
Yeah, he's
He got
good. He's
better. He
good.
got better last year as he played. But to your point, you're on the 10-yard line. You're going up against Mike Evans. He's 6'5". What do you're gonna have to help him out. You're gonna have to
Exactly.
help him out over the top, which means you're gonna have to leave AJ on an island. But what he said is with his defensive lines and the way that his defense is schemed, you don't necessarily have to have a burner at corner at the number two. You need it at one. You don't need it at number two. What he said is going to come down to the Falcons defense is essentially that defensive line.
Hmm.
Why, when you think about it, that's why they took so many defensive linemen, going forward. But I agree with you. I don't think it would hurt the Falcons to have a taller corner. I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
But I think Clark has a very realistic shot at getting this number two position.
I think he has talent, man. I think the talent
Definitely.
is there.
Yeah.
I might be underlooking at him, and not looking at his heart, because you can't underestimate a man's heart.
No,
The
you can't.
man probably got a big, he might got that grind in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
might be like he might possibly be like a Brent Grimes
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah.
And I hope if they have him start, I hope that's what he is. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But we'll see.
Agreed. 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 Well, hey, man, Jabri, I appreciate you coming out, man. We're at the segment of the show where we essentially go through shout outs. As you are my first guest, number one, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Greatly appreciate it. Any shout outs you have for anybody out there?
Hey, man, shouts out to all the diehard Falcons fans. I mean, the ones that's hanging in there for podcasts like this, even though ain't nothing really happening, ain't too much happening around this time of
Right.
year.
Right.
Shouts out to y'all, man. Shouts out to guys. Shouts out to you, man. Appreciate you for inviting me, man. And hey, that's about it, man.
Hey, man, number one, thank you for coming on my show, Jabri. I think you and I clicked early on, and we've been clicking ever since, and I think we just going to continue to do that. And, hey,
Yes,
man,
sir.
I appreciate you coming, and you're welcome to come back anytime you like.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you,
Hit
man.
me up,
Appreciate you.
and I got you. No problem. As far
Thank
as
you.
my shout outs go, hey, man, shout out to the fans. Thank you, guys. Shout out to God. To him, none of this would happen. And shout out to Jack Spade
Oh,
and
yeah.
of course
One
Jay,
time.
and one time for the fan and Carrie and Bodie.
Yeah, Bodie,
Yeah,
what up?
just everybody. Bodie, what's going on? So, hey, man, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And until Monday morning, you guys have a great weekend. Jabri, again, thank you,
Hey,
sir. We'll
all
see you
right.
when we meet.
Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
See if it's going to stay.